Hey people, thought it was about time I did another video. Like my last one, this is one that I've been thinking about producing for quite a while. This video's purpose is more of a calling than education or establishment of my opinions or findings, like all my other videos. This video's purpose to find people that are more like myself. All of my subscribers and even some non-subscribers know by now that I'm an atheist. But not many know how I got there or why I'm here. So I thought maybe I should talk about that. I did perhaps release a little information on my first video about how I came to the stance of atheism, but I didn't really go into detail. So I thought I would maybe do you guys a favor, or anybody who would be interested, and maybe tell you a little more about my story. Like a lot of atheists, I was a believer before. I actually went through a lot of religions. I actually started off Mormon because my very first friend was actually Mormon. This was back in like first grade, and I remained that way until I was about maybe 12 years old. And then at 12 years old, I switched to Christianity because, I found a lot of the fundamental things in Mormonism just make no sense whatsoever. What the fuck is with this planet Kolob bullshit? Seriously. And Jews occupying American soil for thousands of years before, and the Native Americans actually being Jewish? No. That's plain bullshit. There is no archaeological, geological, historical, or any other kind of evidence that supports this. Of course, any Mormon can rationalize with you for hours as to why and how this is and how it's so true, but that seems to be a theme in a lot of religions, doesn't it? Anyhow, at the age of 12, I switched to Christianity. But that didn't last long. See, that's when I started doing a lot of reading, studying on Egyptology and Greek mythology, Roman mythology, Norse mythology, and I started finding all of these parallels. I started finding all these things that all these religions, which were somehow not related, just somehow were connected. It didn't make any sense to me. And I thought, okay, maybe the pagans were right. I mean, obviously, all of these Christian, Jewish, and Muslim ideals come straight from paganism. Hell, science comes from paganism, so I thought, maybe these guys are right. So, I really didn't stay Christian for long. I was like that until I was maybe 15, 16 years old, and I started practicing witchcraft. But while I dabbled in the occult, I didn't have very much limitation as to what kind of power I tapped into. I looked into necromancy, demonism, black magic, white magic, green magic, all of the basic staples, and I just wanted power. Basically, like every other person, I wanted some ability to control my life. Although, control is an illusion. At least, I know that today. I read books by Israel Regardie, H.P. Lovecraft, of course Anton LaVey, Scott Cunningham, Ray Buckland, and Silver Ravenfluff. I know there are a lot of other authors, but I'm not going to talk about all that. I really don't want to go on a tangent here. So, in short, I considered myself Wiccan for a lot of years. Of course, I'm pretty sure any pagans that may be listening to this may object to that concept, but, because there are tenets in witchcraft that say that calling oneself a witch, or gathering titles, degrees, or initiations, or heredity do not make one a witch. It's, wanting to live healthy and within balance of nature that makes one a witch. But, I was really flexible. I went dark for a really, really long time. Typical to what I find about a lot of Wiccans is this better not piss me off attitude. There are tenets in Wicca that say, if that harm none, do what you will. So that means whatever the fuck you do, don't hurt people. And that includes when you get ticked, don't be flinging hexes at people. That's immoral. But I did it anyway. Anytime someone crossed me or wronged me or just irritated me, I'd do it. And I can't say that all Wiccans do this. Maybe some do, maybe some don't. But, you'll find, even in white magic books, that they urge you to study black magic so you can defend against it. So even then, there is still the temptation to use against somebody, even though your tenets teach you not to. So that pretty much explains how I almost constantly wandered between pretty much green magic and black magic. Sometimes I'd use a little white. I even looked into Witchvox and Witchvox.com. It's probably the largest pagan community on the net. And there I found a fairy Wicca coven, and I dealt with them for a little while. The Sylvan Grove. Look them up on the internet. sylvangrove.com, .org, .net. I don't remember. But for 17 years, I considered myself pagan. That's over half my life. It's a long time, isn't it? When you're only 30 years old, 17 years is a big chunk of your life. So I understand pagans. And I would never attack pagans. I would never insult them. I would never disrespect them. I love and value pagans. They're benign. They should be left alone to practice in peace, no matter what Christians and Muslims and Jews like to tell you. Look into it yourself. But see, what finally got me away from paganism was a concept I read about in Ray Buckland's Complete Book of Witchcraft. It talked about how the technical difference between a spell and a prayer is where the intent is focused. When you cast a spell, the intent is focused on the goal. When you say a prayer, the intent is focused on God. And then I found all of these studies, even some done by the Templar organization, that prove that prayer doesn't work. And if spells and prayers are technically not that different, then spells don't work either. And then I went through about a 3-year transition period where I finally became an atheist and arrived where I am today. And I really deeply understand a lot of religions, especially neo-pagan ones. So that's why when you catch me, I'll correct people when they make broad comments about religion, especially when they're talking about pagans. I'm pretty protective of pagan rights, pagan families, pagan awareness. I think they're probably some of the safest religionists in the world. These guys don't proselytize. You don't see pentagram-wearing people running around telling you how to lead your life. They never use church resources to lobby government. These guys are fine. But anyhow, I want to know if there are any other formerly pagan, Wiccan, Druidic, Asatru, Celtic, Witta, Wiccan, any other ex-pagans that are out there. Please get in contact with me and talk to me about how you came to the position that you're at today, that being an atheist. Anyhow, thanks for listening. My time is running short, so I'm going to shut up now. Have a good day, guys. This is Zelatov. Peace out.